everyone, welcome back to Mimi's Home and Garden. Today I'm going to show you how I'm using those dehydrated carrots, onions, potatoes, and mushrooms that I did last week in a beef stew. So I have my crock pot set for 4 hours on high. I have 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup, some beef broth, some cut up stewed beef. I have my dehydrated carrots, potatoes, onions, mushrooms. So I'm going to show you the process. First, you're going to brown the stew beef, and I've seasoned it good with the Goya adobe seasoning. And then I'm going to open up some olive oil and pour in my skillet. And you just want to brown all the sides of your beef stew. I've got my crock pot hot. I'm going to add in the 1 container of beef broth. I have plenty of beef broth in the freezer, but this was going to be out of date in a couple of months, so I wanted to go ahead and use that. And pour that in the crock pot. Then I'm going to empty 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup into the crock pot as well. You can use any creams of soups, but I love the cream of mushroom when I'm making beef stew. It makes a nice gravy for you. So I've added in both cans, and I will also add in 2 cans of water. You need plenty of liquid when you are rehydrating your vegetables. So I've added that into the crock pot. Now I'm on to browning the stewed beef. The olive oil is hot. Give that crock pot a good stir and mix up all those cans of soup into the beef broth. So I drop in the seasoned beef stew pieces into the skillet, and you're going to brown those on all sides. So using tongs, I continuously turn until all the sides are brown. It really smelled good. I love browning meat. It smells so good in the kitchen. I'm going to move my crock pot over just a little bit, and then I'm going to add this stew beef to the soup and beef broth mixture. See, all sides are nice and brown now. That just helps to hold in the juices in the meat if you brown the sides. Okay, now I'm adding that into the crock pot. That was about 1.5 pounds of stew beef that I purchased at Costco. And now on to those dehydrated vegetables. First I'm going to add in about 1/2 cup of carrots. Remember, dehydrated vegetables shrink up, so you don't need to use as much. So this was the 6-pound bag I dehydrated last week. So I'm going to add in 1/2 cup. And I also did the same with the dehydrated onions. I added 1/2 cup of those into the stew. And I could have chopped those up, but I just tossed them in there like that. And then a whole cup of the dehydrated potatoes. These were sliced thin, so a whole cup would work fine for this beef stew. At about the 3rd hour, I will add in 1/2 cup of the mushrooms. You don't want to add the mushrooms in too early or they will get tough. So about the 3rd hour, I'll set my timer and I'll go back and add in the 1/2 cup of the mushrooms. And this is what it looks like. We'll just give it a nice stir. You can see I added the mushrooms into this pot, but the next pot I will wait because they were tough. And I added in a bay leaf and salt and pepper. I let this cook for 4 hours on high. And then this is how it looks after it has completely cooked. Everything was nice and tender. The carrots had plumped back up. The potatoes were tender. The onion had pretty much cooked all to pieces, but the flavor was in there. It was really delicious. I served this over rice, and all the plates were empty when we finished our dinner. Everybody loved it, and nobody knew that these vegetables had been dehydrated. I didn't tell anybody until after dinner was done. I hope you enjoyed this video on how to use your dehydrated vegetables. If you like it, please subscribe. Leave me any questions or comments below. Have a blessed day.